Yeah. What, before we conclude this or complete this, did you have an,
No.
okay.
Wrap up.
I'm really grateful to you for being willing to talk about this experience, because I think you have an insight into something that is so human and so universal, and yet is something that we all have a tendency, particularly in this culture, to not want to look at, to
Yeah.
push away, to like hope it never comes, you know? And then when it happens to us and with a family member, you almost don't know what to do about it. Like I don't really feel like we get a lot of training
No.
around death in this
Yeah.
culture. Is there something that you want to communicate to people about this process that is counterintuitive, or maybe people don't really think about, or maybe they do, it's just good to reinforce it? Is there anything that you generally want to communicate and express to people about death?
Yeah, I would first say, I mean, definitely gratitude to you guys, because don't forget to factor in your influence in my transformation and growth and my seasoning, because I did spend a lot of time in the car listening to you.
Mhm.
And that was incredibly, incredibly empowering to be filled up and understand who I am and how I work, so that when I go into someone's home, I can serve them the best way possible. I mean, I don't want that to fall on deaf ears. That was a big part of me, I think, arriving to this seasoning of who I am, not just being a hospice nurse, but also focusing on transformation and growth at the same time, because I think it can be a road of despair. And having this infusion of hope through your voices was transformative. So if you are listening, or you know a hospice nurse, or you are a hospice nurse, or you know someone who's spending a lot of windshield time, recommend this podcast, because I mean, what you kept me from being one-sided. I think it could be very easy to be in the culture of death and have this myopic view of how it works, but also having the understanding of, well, yeah, but we're living right now. So how can we get to the next milestone? How can we grow in our journey? I think in that way, it helped me see that hospice is just one more step. Death is just one more step of the journey. That's hopeful.
Yeah.
That helps you not be afraid. And I think removing fear to the side, love can come in and take over. Love is very much welcome once fear is addressed and taken care of. So if I was giving one thing, I mean, about hospice care, I would say, yeah, address your fears of dying and your fears of letting go, and understand that there are already little deaths along the way. From birth, we are the flower that is picked for the pleasure of life. And like the flower that is picked for life's pleasure, we are already beginning to die. So you're already on the journey. Make it count. And remember that space of welcoming is about setting aside time and space. You can start now by setting aside time and space to get out of the minutes and get into the moments.
Yeah, it's beautiful. What I just got from what you said too is, because I was going to say, well, how does one get over the fear of death? But what I just inferred from your statement is, if you spend a life of transformation, you already experience a whole bunch of little deaths. You have to give up parts of your ego. You have to be willing to die to earlier iterations of yourself.
Yeah.
So growth and development and having frequent moments of transcendence,
Yes.
which require time and space,
Yep.
right? And to be willing to die to yourself a little at a time as you grow and mature. That's part of the preparation of the final act, of the final curtain. Yeah.
Well said.
Well said, Antonia.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank
That
you
was
so much.
beautiful.
This has been so insightful. I really appreciate it.